Hi, this is Melissa with A Creative Journey with Melissa. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own planner, journal, if you want to do doodles, doodle book, whatever you want to call it, on your own, customized, super easy and inexpensive. Now, there's the first one. If you've ever watched my videos, I always have mistakes. I do them in one shot. If they're really super duper bad, I stop and start over because usually those are the ones that you really don't want to hear or see. But these are a one-stop shop basically. So what I do is I just do a video, let you know what I do. Hopefully it'll give you a good jumping off point to be creative yourself. I like neat, clean, simple, awesome, creative ideas. And what I like to do is inspire other people, and people inspire me all the time. So I am super duper honored that you came to watch this. And so I will get started. This right here is a composition notebook, and there's a number of things you can do with it. I'll give you some ideas that you can even add to this once I am done showing you how to make it. But this is a beautiful young lady. Her name is Jaden. And a friend of mine's daughter, I was told that she's creative. So of course, you know, if someone's creative, I went, oh yay, let's get someone else creative. So I gave them a bunch of creative stuff and gave her a few composition books. So now I'm actually I'm gonna do a step-by-step. There's actually 3 mistakes so far, and I've only been talking for like 2 minutes. Isn't that great? Anyway, we're just gonna keep going. So I'm going to actually show you guys step by step what to do. There's a few little things that I've added. There's a few things you can add even more. There's a whole bunch of different ideas. So I'm going to give you some extra ideas at the end, but I want to show you how simple this is and how you definitely can do it, and what a great idea for someone that likes to journal. And it's really great for someone to keep a journal. It's great for emotions and being able to write down your feelings, and really great to reflect back on how cool things can be and how things change and how fast they change. So right now we have this cool little creation, and what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to make it. It's super duper simple. I like to create them and leave the inside as they are with this, especially for school age kids, because the inside you could do class schedule, you have all this information, and you also have some really cool information here that you might need for science and things like that. Those are helpful. If you do not need it, then by all means cover it up. Do whatever you want to do. You could, well, I'll tell you later. Anyway, there's a lot of things you can do with this. So with this, I'm just going to show you what we have. It's just a simple composition notebook. So I'm going to show you how to make this. So first, what you're going to need is you're going to, of course, need a composition notebook. In addition to the composition notebook, you're going to need some ink. You're going to need our awesome stamps, which are the A Creative Journey with Melissa stamps. And these are, not only are they awesome, but they are awesome so that you can be sure to use them for super duper awesome ideas. And they're larger. So you can see they're about an inch tall, give or take a little bit, depending on about an inch square, but depending on exactly what you're doing here and what size letter it is. Like the C might be a little bit bigger than a B because a B isn't typically as wide. But these are our awesome stamps, and of course our everyday alphabet uppercase and symbol stamps large. And these are going to be the giveaway this week. So make sure, if you want to be part of the giveaways every week, make sure that you have your name or your email, you're signed up for our email for our blog and newsletter, as well as our YouTube channel. You can do that at www.acreativejourneywithmelissa.com or www.acjwm.com. If you are to do that, try to make sure that you have matching names. If you have 2 different names, let me know so that I know that you're actually the same person, because if you're not subscribed to both, you do not qualify. So that is kind of what's going on with that. So we're going to have these little stamps here. We're going to need this. We're going to need some paper, of course. This, we just need to make our own pen. Yes, we're going to be doing that too. So we'll need those little pieces of paper for the pen. We need, I only have one, you only really need one. I should pull that off. But I always do 2 just in case I make a mistake, so I don't have to cut them while you guys are watching me. Some mistakes are good, some mistakes not so much. When I talk over myself or say something wrong, that's kind of entertaining, at least for me. Hopefully it's for you too. I have pre-cut some paper right here, so it's a little bit easier to make. That doesn't mean that you won't need scissors, because you definitely will. You can pre-cut them so they go all the way up to here, or you can pre-cut them so they could just go to here. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And basically it depends on what size composition book you use. Typically they're 9 3/4 by 7 1/2. I've seen a little bit bigger ones, and I've seen, of course, smaller ones, which I do, if you are interested, I do have a mini planner book that I did create, similar idea, so that if you wanted to do that, you could do that too. So we need paper, and of course we need scissors, because we always need scissors. Scissors are good. We need a little bit of ribbon. And of course, we're going to need some adhesive. So the adhesive is the best and the biggest, most important part. And the reason why it's important is because you need to make sure you have an adhesive that's really going to stick and hold on to this stuff. If you don't, it's not going to stay, which means you're going to have a planner / journal, doodle book, etc., that's going to fall apart. You don't want that to happen. That would totally be a bummer. So with that, this is about what you need. And if you wanted to make some letters with different colored paper, I will add that in here. This is actually the paper that I cut out for the letters, so I'll add this in this little group of paper, like so. Actually, I'm just going to rip this off so it's not distracting. There. So you can use this little piece of paper and that. This is for the letters. So I will show you how that works. Looks kind of messy, doesn't it? But it does the job, correct? Correct. So again, these are our awesome stamp sets. Make sure you check out our website so you can see the other awesome things we have. We have a lot of sign language stamps. We have some really great ones coming this year. I'm super duper excited. So make sure you look out for them and check out our website and check out our YouTube channel. We will be sure to do blog posts and YouTube posts on the new stuff that's coming. And we also have blog posts every Monday. It's called Mondays with Melissa, which you're probably watching right now because that's what this video is. At any rate, so this is what we got. Super duper fast. You just gotta throw some stuff together. You might even have this stuff at home. So that's the cool part of this. You could really have all this stuff and not even realize it. Like composition notebooks, I will tell you that if you go to Walmart after school starts, you can get these for as low as 10 cents. So I stock up. I think I have like 50 of them right now. So I like to make these, especially when I'm going to different classes. I love to take classes about creativity. So when I go to those classes, I typically bring a composition notebook. Usually I forget to bring a decorated one, but that's okay. So now I will have to make some ahead of time, right? No excuses. That should be my phrase for the year. No excuses. Anyway, so what we're going to do is just take all this stuff and put it aside. I'm going to take this out. Ooh, I forgot. We're also going to need a stamp block, so don't forget your stamp block. That would be bad if you didn't have that for your stuff. So we're going to take our stamp block out. We have our ink. We're going to put our pen stuff aside. I have my stamps that I already have readily available. And these are mine. These are the ones that I use. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take these stamps, and I'm going to just do a few of the letters here. And then I'll do the second set because Jaden's name is pretty long, which is awesome and beautiful, but long. So I need to make sure that I have enough room for the whole name. So I'm doing that. So I simply just put, this is what it's going to look like for the first part. It doesn't have to be straight or anything because I'm going to be cutting these out, which I've already done for you. So you don't have to sit and wait. I used my brother's scan and cut machine, which cut all of my letters out, and you will see what they look like in a minute. I love the way they came out, but they're awesome. So what I did was, actually when I was stamping, I stamped about 3 or 4 sets of these because I knew that I would end up needing more, especially for the tutorial, so I thought, why not do them now? And I did. So that is what I did there. Just putting these back on the sheet that your stamps come on, and then we're going to do the Y, and then we're going to do the N. So yes, Jaden, this is your name. Yes, you will be getting this, both of them actually. So if you watch this before your mom comes home from work, then you'll know. If you watch it after, then you'll hear me talking about you. How you like that? Okay, so there we have Jaden's name. Isn't it a beautiful name? I just love that name. Good job, Christina. Love the name. Anyway, so we have Jaden's name right here. What I did was I took this and I put it on my scan and cut mat, and what happened was I got all the letters cut out. So I will show you that. And I did it again ahead of time to save us some time and energy. And here we go. It's Jaidyn. So we have that. That's ready. Oops. You can see that's ready. Oops. Again. I'm saying oops a lot, huh? Jaidyn. So that's ready to go. I'm just going to place that right on here so it's ready to go when I'm ready to put it on the front of the composition notebook, and we'll put that aside. So now what we're going to do is just take out our composition notebook. We're going to take out our 2 pieces of paper that I've already pre-cut. You don't have to pre-cut them necessarily, but I thought it'd be a little bit easier for you guys to watch, so you don't have to sit through a little bit longer of my tutorial. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to simply take, this is what you call an advanced ATG, advanced tape glider. I love it. It's got really great super sticky tape, and it's important to me, especially for this, to do that, so that's what I use it for. So I'm going to run this along the line right here. Now, sometimes some of this will go over. You want to make sure you pick that up, otherwise it'll make all the pages sticky, which would be a bummer, especially if you're trying to use it as a planner or a notebook or something, because if you do that, you're going to get pages stuck together, which will be quite a pain in the butt when you're trying to do that. So that would be a bummer. We wouldn't want that. And then I'm just going to put some random adhesive here so it will stick for sure. Put my adhesive away. Right now I just really need 1 piece of paper. So what I'm doing here is I am just going to take this piece of paper and I'm going to line it up on this side of the paper and see how much I want of it. Yeah, this is way too long than I would care for. So I'm going to show you how I cut it. I'm just going to basically butt it up right here to the line, like so. Matches pretty well. Want to try to make sure that none of the other color sticks out. Looks good. Okay, so you just basically flatten it like so. And you're really pushing down to make sure all the adhesive is on. I'm going to do the same to the other side. Just add some adhesive. Go all the way around. Try to go as close to the edge as I can without going off, because like I said, you don't want all the pages to stick together. That would defeat the purpose of your creation, and a big bummer, right? We will be adding more adhesive for the ribbon, but not right now. I like to do it in stages. Although that may be the harder way to do it, that's just the way I do it. So again, I'm going to butt this right up here. I don't want to push down yet. I just want to make sure that it's lined up properly. Okay. That looks good. That looks good. So I'm just going to push that right along here. Okay, so these edges right here look great. I'm just going to have to trim the top part. That makes it a lot easier for you and me, because you don't really want to sit there and watch me try to cut this out. But I did want to show you how to cut it out so that you don't get, you don't have issues with it, because sometimes it can be a pain. And I say pain is relative, this way you could use your scissors. You could also use a knife or a, what am I trying to think of? I can't think of it. You guys are probably screaming at right now at your monitor or your phone going, you know it's this, but I can't think of it right now. So I will just show you how to cut this out. So I just simply use a long set of scissors. I do not use the small Tim Holtz scissors because it's almost impossible to get it rolling and work, okay? So we have this here. I'm just gonna cut this. Okay, so that is done. Now we have the other one here. We're just gonna, oh, and I want to show you, I know this is probably pretty gross to you guys, but I had a nail that cracked right here and I literally ripped it off. Lesson to someone, don't do that again. Now the same thing happened to me right here, but I was smart and I didn't do that. That looks really gross. Probably should have put a Band-Aid on it, but why? Why would I do that? Because I forgot, that's why. Anyway, So back to my nice nails like that. How's that? I'll just pretend that the other one isn't in here. In the meantime, let's go like this. So we're just going to cut along here. The long scissors work a lot better because it almost gives you almost like a guide on where to go and how to cut. There we go. So those are done. Super duper fast and simple. Actually faster and simpler than when I did it in the first place. So you like how that looks? I think it looks pretty good. Pretty lined up. Whoops. And the other thing too, you want to make sure that you open it up to make sure you have the front part open. Otherwise, I've been known to make these do the inside, and if I cover this, it doesn't really matter, but if I don't cover it, it's upside down, which is a problem. Anyway, so we can do one of two things here. We could leave it like this and just put a piece of ribbon on top, which is super duper easy and simple and doable. But I think what I'm going to do is I am going to see how big this is. I think that's too big. Let's see this one. Yeah, this one would be better. This, I believe, is 2 inches. And again, it depends on how much overlap you want and what you want it to look like, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, again, you're going to need a lot of adhesive for this one. So make sure you have a lot of adhesive. I am taking this and I am going to put lots of adhesive on this paper. You can do it on the paper or you can do it on the actual composition notebook. Totally up to you. I don't know if there's a better or worse way to do it. I don't know if there's a preference per se. I've done both ways and I can't honestly tell you that, other than the squeaky noise, it's awful. I can't honestly tell you that one's any better than the other. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take this composition notebook and I'm going to center it in the middle, at least as centered as I think it is or should be. This looks pretty good right here. Might be a little bit over on one end than the other, but I think we'll be okay. Looks pretty centered, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it down on one side and roll it and squish it down. And I, push down and kind of make a seam on it and then roll it to the other side and push down like that. Okay. And push down really super hard here too. Now, if you wanted to, you could put inside this area, you could put a ribbon inside here and then put a pen hanging out, which is a great idea, except I have found that when you do that, it does come through or it rips. So that's why I'm not doing it. Great idea in concept, but didn't quite work out the way I had hoped it would, so that's why I don't do it. Now, what we're going to do now is we're just going to simply take a little bit of adhesive. I'm going to put it right along the edge here, and I again apologize for this little squeakiness. I'm not sure how I'm going to fix that. I don't know if you can oil that without getting it all over the place. I'll have to think about that. And if anybody knows what to do if it's squeaky, please leave me a comment or send me a message. I'd love to hear it. So in the meantime, I'm going to take this ribbon and I'm going to cut it straight across to make sure it works. And there's like little lines on the ribbon, so that actually will make it look pretty, like so. And I'm lining up right at the edge there. And I think this is pretty even. Let's see here. I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to push it along there. So I've pushed down really hard right at the edge. Oh, that came undone. That's a bummer. Let's see if I can pull this off nicely. Not really. See, it came undone. These are the mistakes we make, people. Got to make sure that we show people how to fix those mistakes. So I'm going to put some more adhesive on top of that. I'm going to trim the ribbon before I put it down so that I don't have a problem with it. So let me trim this straight across. That looks good. Oops, these little pieces I don't need. I'm going to take this right on the edge, like so. Looks good. There we go, right there. Push it down again. Okay, so that looks good. I'm going to just cut almost double of it off. So we're just gonna almost too much, like there. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just going to make it so it goes straight inside, okay? Now you can put a piece of paper on top of here, cover it up, and you can make your own little folder or a little, I can't think of it, little pouch, so that you can put pieces of paper or things like that in here. What you would do if you wanted to do this is just cover this, take a half a piece or a third of a piece, and then just make sure you put adhesive on just 3 corners, because if you put it on the top you can't put anything in it, okay? So that's how you make your own pocket. Now here I'm just going to make this ribbon. I'm just going to make another little bow like I did on the other one. And there we go, like so. So that part is done, okay? That fits inside. That's so if you are making this as a planner, you can say, I don't know about you, but I like, when I write large and I write hard, okay? So I'm a medium point kind of girl. I don't really do well with thin point. It's just the way I am. If you wanted to have this as a planner or just as a journal or whatever you wanted, you could put your date here. I am also a list girl. So using a calendar, I write too large typically for calendars, so it's hard for me to make a planner that I use that's in the format in which people typically can purchase them. I've seen a few that I really enjoy, but I need the big ones, like the big 10 by 12, because I write so big. So if you wanted to make this as a planner, you could even put in an extra little piece of paper, glue it in here, and stick it inside. So if you like to write in Sharpies like I do, you could have a part so it's kind of covering and it doesn't get onto your next page too. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this, and I told you I'd give you some ideas, and there's a few. So in the meantime, what we have now is we have to make sure that we put Jaden's name on here. So we got to get Jaden's name out here. And let's see here. We've got Jaidyn, so we're ready to go. And we have the adhesive right here. You don't want to put too much on, just because otherwise it will be almost overkill for the adhesive, but you want to make sure it stays on too. So we've got that going here. So we've got the J. Actually, I think for this one I'm going to do it right here, just so it's a little different than the one I did the first time. I did a few example ones for her and did the same thing, so hopefully she enjoyed that, and that's helpful. You know, there's nothing like, you know, just making it just a little bit different. There, the adhesive doesn't want to come off the roller because these are so small, so we're just going to make it happen. Let's see here. Okay. There we go. This. Perfect. Got some adhesive on that guy. Oh, another little tip. I don't know about you, but I always have a hard time finding my adhesive. Like literally it walks away. In all fairness, my kids do like to take it, so it actually does walk away. But what I did was, with this tape glider, you have to open it up like this. So what I did was I took a piece of ribbon and put it through the top and then closed it. So now I have a place to hang it. It works really well. So that's just a little tidbit of information for you from me. If you have one of these big ATG, they call them ATG guns, but it's kind of funny because it's you know, tape runner. People call them tape runners, etc., etc. But it is a tape gun. It's huge too. Let's see. This little guy does not want to stick as well, but we made it happen. So let's see what we got here. Okay. Then we have the Y. Whoops. We have the Y. And then we'll put some adhesive on that guy, right like that. Y. And N. This looks pretty good. Okay. So we have the adhesive. We got a little bit over, so I'm going to just fix it so it looks a little bit more presentable. And then we'll just do it like that. So we have Jaden right there. Okay, and she may not like that. She may not want it like that, and that's fine. These should come off fine. I didn't put them on super, super sticky in case she wants to change it up, okay? Now what I'm going to show you is how to make a matching pen. So what I use is the Pentel RSVP pens, and they're medium point. So that's what these are. So these you can take apart. So you just take off this part right here. Now this piece of paper will fit right in here. So all I do is basically roll it up. I have a little piece of adhesive on my finger. Roll it up like so. And roll it up a little bit more. And roll it up a little bit more. Like so, okay? I make it small enough so it'll go in there. And then what happens is after you put it in, it expands. So you just put it in like this. Just squish it in there. Whoops. A little too squished. And push it in. And then usually I can take this guy and it will push it right in for me. Yep, it'll work. Now, it's not going in, whoopsie, cap fell off. It's not going in all the way that the way I would like. So I'm gonna see if I can pull it back out or push it all the way in. One or the other. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I think I could push it in. Let me get my scissors and I'll push this little guy in just a little bit more. There we go. There, it's in there. And then this just came off. This cap has a little, whoops, I'm gonna drop it again. I like this cap dropper, huh? Today's the cap dropping day. So it just fits in. There's a little part in there that you can fit it in. So we just push it like that, close it up, and you have your own custom pen. So this matches this. You could flip it around and make it so it's blue, whatever you wanted to do. You could do that too. And that's basically it. So if you wanted to make your own planner and have your own inserts or paper already pre-printed or whatever you'd like to do, you could make your own binding by doing something very similar to this. You can even use cereal boxes if you want something that's a little bit more stiff like chipboard. Cereal boxes are a great way to recycle and reuse things, but you can cover them with paper just like you would for a composition notebook. So there's a lot of great ideas. There's a lot of great things you can do, and really there's many, many, many options you have that will really turn out some great, cool, interesting decorative things. So hopefully you enjoyed this. I'm hoping you did. I am going to go watch the Super Bowl right now. I think if it's not on already, it will be on shortly. I do hope you enjoyed this creative day today, and I do hope that you make sure you check out our website at www.acreativejourneywithmelissa.com or www.acjwm.com. I really hope you enjoy getting creative with me, and I am really, really honored that you went on my website to check this out, or the YouTube channel. And again, thank you for going on a creative journey with Melissa. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.